That's right, bonus hour today, tomorrow, all the way through the month of July, August 1st. Your Duck Insider will be back. So if you're missing your Duck Insider, fear not. We're going to continue our Hump Days with Hara, our Wednesday conversation with the Dusty Hara. We'll be back this week. We'll talk some college football. We'll talk some Ducks. Keep you up on what's going on with that. And then August 1st, Joey Mack and the boys will return with their regularly scheduled Duck Insider. So you'll have a whole run-up for college football and your Oregon Ducks. Everything else that is going on with Oregon athletics. We'll be back, but you've got us, Casey and I, flying solo today. I've got no guests on the docket, so we can catch up. I mean, I just want to hear about your celebration of 250. America is 250 years old. Age is showing a little bit in spots, but we don't need to get into that. Casey, how are you doing, my friend? How was your long weekend?
My weekend was good.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of traveling. Went down to the Buddy's River House on the Deschutes. Hung out there for a few days, and then ended up in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's a great place to be.
Beautiful place called Condon, Oregon.
Well, there you go.
Condon. Met some of the locals. Hung out, drank, watched some fireworks. It was a good weekend.
Did you shoot off fireworks out in Condon?
I did not.
Okay. Where were there fires? Lincoln City had one. Salem had some stuff burning. Yeah, fireworks have not been on my list for a very long time. When I was a kid, we would go and we would travel up north. My grandma on my dad's side lived in Port Angeles. My grandma on my mom's side lived in Woodland. We would usually make a couple trips up during the summer to Port Angeles. Along Hoods Canal, they've got all the different fireworks stands brought to you by your local tribes. You can buy whatever you want. And nobody loved blowing stuff up quite like Mom's mom and Rosemary.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So we'd go up and we'd see my dad's mom, hang out with her, and then on the way back, it was right around my birthday, they'd all open up. My birthday, the 28th of June, they would all open up, and we would show up to Rosemary's house with at the Blueberry Farm out in Woodland with sticks of dynamite, basically. You get these little, balls of gunpowder that were about the size of a golf ball. We took one of her berry buckets and launched it into orbit one time. So she had these little old coffee cans. She would turn into, put a piece of wire on it, hooks on your belt. She could pick your berries before you put them in your 5-gallon bucket. We shot one of those into orbit that's probably still up there rotating around in the atmosphere somewhere. And then we took one of the plastic 5-gallon buckets, just blew it to smithereens. I don't know how somebody did not get shrapnel lodged somewhere they shouldn't have had plastic bucket fragments lodged. She loved it. We put craters in her yard just blowing stuff up. We'd get up there and for years it'd just be like, hi, welcome. Here's a packet of firecrackers. Go nuts. That wouldn't even be the 4th of July.
Just a random Tuesday in March.
As far as I know, all the kids still have all their fingers. But yeah, it got to a point where we were putting on little fireworks shows up there. And then I moved on from it, man. When it was spending your own money on fireworks, I'm like,
You get burnt out real quickly on that.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Plus, the best fireworks celebration that I was ever witness to was New Year's Eve when I lived in Hawaii. The streets of Lahaina, which, speaking of fires and whatever else, we don't need to get into all of that. Just made the connection right now. But Lahaina lit up with fireworks. It was so many people putting off fireworks that you could not see at ground level because there was so much smoke in the air.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then you could see Lanai and you could see Molokai, and they're shooting off fireworks. And it was more individuals shooting off. Like, we used to have the Fort Vancouver fireworks show, which was great. Patrick Harris and I both grew up in Vancouver, so we were talking about how fun it was to go down there, and you'd always see somebody you knew. That was always a good show. They don't do that one anymore. I worked at the Marriott downtown waterfront, and we used to host parties in the penthouse suite. The penthouse suite there is a big open area with no beds in it, and then you have 2 suites on either side where you have somebody stay if they wanted to, connecting rooms. So we would take the entire suite, just throw a party up there for the hotel VIPs.
That sounds pretty sweet. Because then I feel like you're at eye level of all the fireworks.
16th floor, the bar just shooting up. It was super cool. That one was great. And then Vegas did some fireworks shows when I was down there, whatever. But by the time I moved back here, I was like, Went to a couple parties with my buddies, and they spent a lot of money. There's thousands of dollars in fire. And you're just kind of like, that's cool. Of course, Nobody shot off fireworks like the Russian family down the street from his house. They would outlast. So they turned into a little arms race. Who could put on the better celebration? And it was the guys from Russia. They loved it. Just blow stuff up. Talk to one of those guys. Oh, yes, we love to shoot fireworks. It's great. This country is great. I mean, they love being here. They love the independence. But, oh, man, they would outdo us American-born and breds every year. So, for me, didn't see a single firework.
Really? Not one?
No.
Not even a sparkler?
I was in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. You went to, where was it again?
Condon, Oregon.
I want to keep wanting to say Coburn. Condon.
I think I would have rather hung out there, but I enjoyed myself. It was a fun weekend.
Yeah, good. We were at the Russian River in Alaska. So this is our annual sockeye salmon fishing trip. First time we went over the 4th of July holiday.
How many you get?
I personally got 15 sockeye, so averaged out to 3 a day. The limit was actually a little bit higher. You could have caught a couple more. It was the latest we had gone in the season, and what happens to these fish as the week goes on is they get kind of chipped up a little bit. Kind of handful that I was like, kind of looks a little beat up. So one year
he's a little weathered.
Well, one year I caught one, and you could literally see the claw marks from a bear that had slapped at it when it was going through the thing. And so this was very fresh. So it was just like a fresh gash, but clearly from a bear. What happened is some of the ones you catch, I don't know if it was a bear, I don't know if it was, somebody hooked into them and broke off or whatever, but you get big patches where they've got chunks of skin missing and whatever. And we take it home to eat and we share it with our family and whatever. So I'm like, we'll let you go back and make it up to the spawning grounds, bud. You're gonna get a free reprieve from me. So I got a few of those. So I probably landed more than that, but it's a wrestle. Probably hooked into, I don't know, 40 fish, maybe more. And, depending on how long you hook into them, some for a second, some you fight all the way up to the bank. And then your stinking 12-year-old nephew gets in there and slaps at it with the net. Next thing you know, your hook's in the net and the fish is gone. Brandon. He did that once. I give him a hard time.
That's a tough one.
It was his first trip. He did great. He caught one. He hooked into another one, and it ran all of his line down the river to, I don't know if you ever used a fly pole, but it got into the backing, which is braided line. I'm trying to help him. I grab it, and that starts burning through my hand. It was a rough trip. We got plenty of scrapes and scars all over the hands from wrestling fish and filleting fish and doing the whole thing. But it was an epic trip. It was awesome. So normally the run is like mid to late June is like the peak of it. And we missed the peak, but there was fewer fish, fewer fishermen, so there was plenty of opportunity to catch fish, and we had a ton of fun. So, yeah, between my two brothers and my other nephew, Nolan, we cleaned up pretty well. We brought home somewhere around 100 fillets, maybe more.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, it was a
pretty good weekend.
It was great. But 4th of July, we were on the river. My brother, his homage to America, he decided that he would leave one of the carcasses completely intact because there was a bald eagle sitting on a branch right next to him, and he put it where he thought the eagle would come down and grab it. A couple seagulls are kind of picking at it, and it's too heavy for them to lift up. Bald eagle comes down and gives it a salute. Happy America Day, bald eagle. So, yeah. No fireworks up there. No nothing. So it was great. I mean, if you think Condon is that, did I get it right that time?
Yep.
Is remote. We flew into Anchorage, drove 2 hours south, and it was just the handful of people in the campground.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. Pretty good way to celebrate. Let's go up to the 49th state, party and hang out. So, yeah, 100% successful trip. The only time I even checked my phone or email or anything all weekend was a little bit at the airport when we were leaving. Last night we got in late, so I didn't even bother. I figured I'd wait till this morning, so just watched a couple movies on the plane, just hung out. But the one thing we would check, got to get Dad the Mariner scores.
Got to get them scores.
Whew. That weekend, stupid weekend. They start off getting beat 2-0, and you're like, this is going to be bad. And then lay it on. Pitching's great. It was all good. But great to be away, great to be remote. So I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully everybody still got all their digits, whether, fireworks or bald eagles taking them off, whatever it was. I hope everybody is okay and was safe. It's a fun holiday. But my recommendation, fireworks on the 4th of July, especially in the Pacific Northwest. Why don't we do a big New Year's Eve fireworks celebration? Why don't the fireworks stands come out for that?
See, I was saying this while you were gone, and it was me and Steven on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be more than one holiday that we
For
use
sure.
fireworks.
Yeah, you
for.
can use. Listen, some places you can shoot off all the fireworks. It's weird. For whatever, the city of Vancouver, no fireworks. The border with unincorporated Clark County, go nuts. You can shoot off all the fireworks you want. So I get that. New Year's Eve's a better day because the fireworks that I did see an explosion in the air before we left. So this would have been 29th, 30th of June. Some guy shooting off fireworks in the middle of the day. But what time did the sun set on 4th of July?
9:30, 9 o'clock,
What time does the sun set on New Year's Eve?
4.
Boom. Come on. That's a way to do it. You want to get your bang for your buck, literally? That's the day to do it.
I'm with that.
That's my. If you're listening and you run a fireworks stand, you're like, what a great 4th of July. Let's make New Year's Eve the celebration. Hawaii already does it big. It's a new year. It's a new start for everybody. Why not do it by just blowing stuff up?
I agree. It's probably worse to be operating those stands in December versus July.
Well, sure. But it's cold outside and it's raining, and somebody can go out there and brighten up an otherwise dreary time of year. July's nice enough.
I am so in on this.
All right. Well, there's my platform.
Might have to buy fireworks now and just save them until December.
It's not the worst idea. Of course, the last time we did that was for somebody's wedding. I think it was my brother's first wedding. Bought a bunch of fireworks, and they got married in February. And by the time we got around to the wedding, everybody lost them or shot them off or used them for Roman candle fights or something. I couldn't tell you exactly what. But anyways, they disappeared. So a lot of sports going on. I've got the World Cup on my TV. I watched the World Cup. We were sitting. We go to this restaurant before we get on the airport at Anchorage. Go to the airport in Anchorage. Watch some of the Norway game. Whew, that dude is something.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, and everybody's getting super excited about the row chant and all that, and I get it. It's cool. But, man, if Norway goes the whole way, they're going to convert the entire world into Vikings fans. I mean, everybody loving the visual of this. The World Cup has to love it. So you've got Portugal and Spain right now, which is a border war. So that's fun. U.S. plays tonight. All this excitement. But you and I have made a promise to one another and to our listeners. What are we going to talk? We're going to talk real football.
Oh,
We got to
yes,
talk real football.
sir.
So I've got more of your top 100 players.
The list is done.
Can I tell you what else I've got?
What you got?
ESPN ranked all 32 rosters. I've got them 1 to 32. Do a little guessing game later this hour.
See if I should quickly bust out my list.
What? I mean, do you want to try?
We'll see how quickly I can get through
All
this.
right, we'll do it to wrap up this first hour. Hey, you know what we could do? Why don't we do it at 2:30? I'll give you plenty of time. At 2:30, since I wasn't here last week, we don't have a guest. I'll give you till 2:30 to put your list of the best rosters 1 through 32. Casey probably will not be doing a lot of speaking for the rest of this hour. He's going to be focused on that. That's what the breaks are for.
I'll be in.
Okay. 32 teams ranked, and we'll compare Casey's list to the list that ESPN provided, and we'll see where that works. We will talk some World Cup. We will talk top 100 players, NBA signings and movings and all of the things. But let's start with the World Cup, and we'll do that next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The biggest...
All right, we got the U.S.-Belgium tonight. Not going to pretend that I know a whole lot about this matchup, the historical relevance of any of it. Seattle's hosting again. Should be quite the party. So that is one thing that is fantastic. It will be in the Northwest. Patrick Harris tells me that the Belgian team's getting old. And I understand the U.S. team has been playing really well in this tournament. But the biggest controversy this entire match is caused by off-the-field shenanigans. Now, you and I have talked a fair bit about my journey into coaching. I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about international football. I'm not going to pretend that I am a great coach. But one of the things that stuck with me, and I believe we've talked about this, is I went to the preseason lacrosse tournament, or banquet. So it was everybody come, we'll get all the coaches together, we'll have representatives of USA Lacrosse show up, and we'll have the gal that runs the officials for all of lacrosse. One of the things she said stood out to me. As a coach, I've tried to stick with this the best I can. Now, in this case, you've got 14 and 15-year-olds doing some of the refereeing for the kids. So, don't yell at the referees. But what they said was specifically, don't try to make the calls for them. Because there's only two things that results in. One, they end up not making the call because they don't want to feel like their hand was forced.
Out of spite.
Or they make the call, and it looks like the only reason they made that decision is because you were yelling it from the sideline.
Again, as a former youth football referee, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
That's something that's just knowing this, seeing what's going on right now. The first time since 1962, a red card will not result in a suspension. And who's out there taking all the credit for it?
You know who.
Our FIFA Peace Prize winning president is out there doing it. And I'm not even aware of what any of the conversations are. I don't want to dig too deep into that, and I don't want to make this political at all. But where we find ourselves is the fact that something was said by the sitting president of the United States in the host country, said something that affects what's going to happen on the field, puts a stain on this game. And that to me stinks.
Yep. I'm with you.
Like I said, I'm not going to say who was right, who was wrong. I'm not saying that I know better, but this is something that is already kind of a pet peeve of mine, going to these games and hearing coaches do this. You're yelling at, again, it's very, very different situation. But the result is exactly what they're trying to teach parents and coaches and kids not to deal with at the youth sport level. And maybe it's a FIFA thing. Maybe it's, a sport that I'm not that connected with, but it just that's not fair, because anytime the government gets involved with college sports, it makes me less interested. The fact that they were trying to overturn that Saints loss on the pass interference call that wasn't years and years ago, just let the sport take care of itself. It's been a really, really good tournament. So now if the U.S. goes out and wins convincingly, or this guy that was supposed to be suspended is the one that makes the deciding goal, whatever it is.
Do they give us the asterisks?
Yeah.
And it takes away from the good PR that the U.S. has built over the past month of gameplay.
And hosting, and it's been a pretty good experience. I know there's been things that have propped up, like treatment of Iran and stuff like that.
For the most part, the experience in the U.S. has been positive in a PR sense.
And the worst part is, it sounds like the U.S. could probably win without the player. So you have a team that could go out and just go, hey, we can go out and prove this and show that we're the better team, even down a guy who's been the leading goal scorer and everything for the tournament. Just go out there and play within the rules and do all of that. Like I said, I started to look at FIFA's explanation, and this is not the only time that somebody has received a red card and not been suspended for the next game. And I guess it was a bad penalty. You just put everybody in a bad spot. You've created controversy. The way and the timing of what FIFA did was they did not give Belgium enough time for an appeal. So they had 14 hours, 16 hours or something to get the appeal in to actually go and do it. Now you can't look at it. It's the day of. Obviously, the appeal's not going to go through, it sounds like, at this point. So either way, you just put everybody in a bad spot, and you could have avoided all of this, but just not saying anything about it, just leaving the suspension in place and just go, hey, no, the ruling's been made. We trust our officials. We do all of that. So now I kind of find myself stuck in an awkward place.
I'm in that same exact boat where I don't want the entire tournament, if the U.S. wins, to be marred by the controversy.
Well, and here's the way that I understand it. We're watching a game right now, Portugal and Spain. Spain is the number 2 seed in the entire tournament.
Behind only France.
The second favorite or whatever it is. Whoever wins this game is probably going to play the U.S. or will play the U.S.
We'll play the
U.S.
winner of
which
tonight's
will
match.
probably be Spain. If they play them, they're probably going to beat up on the U.S. anyways, and it'll end up becoming a moot point. But this was the game I was most excited about, and now all of the news on every site is about the suspension, and it's not about the game. You've made it so it's no longer about the players. Pulisic supposed to be our best player anyways.
Yep.
He's out there playing. You're down a man. So go out there and get the win. Make it awesome. It puts a team in a bad spot because they're not going to not play one of their best players, somebody that's been productive in this tournament. So just, if this were a different country, let's say, this was something that happened in another host country. Let's just say France is one of the favorites to win the whole thing, and they're hosting the tournament. If one of their best players gets a reversal because the president goes out and talks to FIFA and goes, hey, well, host nation, we want to make sure that people are there. We can't have Mbappe's not out there. We can't play. If it were that way, how would you feel? So I just always hate that there ends up being controversy, but a month, 2 months before this tournament started, what were all the stories? All the controversies. So it's international soccer living up to what they do. They're out there trying to appease governments or trying to do the thing that is, say one thing and do another, and it's unfortunate because it's kind of the reputation that the game has. There hasn't been too many accounts of flopping or anything like that. So
nothing too egregious.
No, nothing.
From a gameplay standpoint.
Sure. But now here's something off the field, and if Belgium loses its games, you've got to think that they have a legitimate gripe. And for the rest of the tournament, you're going to have to be keeping one eye on it and go, oh, was that not called because of this? So going into, hopefully the game is great tonight, and it takes our minds off of all of that. I don't know if the U.S. wins in dominant fashion, obviously that's not one guy. You just hope that it doesn't come down to a single moment where the guy that shouldn't be in there plays a critical role in a deciding play. And that's what you want from a game. That's what makes it so difficult, is I really do want it
it to go down to the wire.
How many of these games have done that?
If it does come down to the wire, it's only going to stir up the controversy more.
Exactly. What we really want is a great game. And now if you end up with a great game, now that overturned suspension matters that much more. So you're almost rooting against a really competitive, hard-fought, tooth and nail game. If it comes down to penalty kicks, I assume this is a striker. He'd be one of our guys taking a penalty kick.
Most likely.
He gets an opportunity to do that because what was that, last Monday where we had back-to-back-to-back penalty kick games? Or one of them was the last minute, but you had 2 in a row that day where you got penalty kicks, and that's a great moment. But now you've got a guy that's out there, by all accounts, probably shouldn't be, even if it's a bad call, to reverse it. And then, like I said, you have the president out there going, hey, I made a call. Cool. Who does that help?
Doesn't seem like it's helping.
Wow.
At all.
Then you know what happens if we keep winning. Guess who's taking credit for the whole thing?
You know he will.
It's one of the last things that we need. So far, though, it's a 0-0 match between Portugal and Spain. They play a couple different styles, I'm told. So it should be fun. If Portugal wins this match, then you're going to have probably a more competitive match against the U.S. if they win. So I guess we're rooting for Portugal in this. Do you have a dog in this fight? Or do you want greatness?
I want Ronaldo. Again, if the U.S. versus Ronaldo, I think that's a story that you can
put a star out there
a lot more.
And Ronaldo pays for Portugal.
Yes, he does.
Look how smart I am. I know so much about international soccer. Fun thing, though, we're getting close to the start of, this is not fair, real football, American football. We're getting that much closer to it. Casey is working on throughout the show. At 2:30, we're going to reveal his top 32 rosters in the NFL. We will compare it. You're an honest man, so I trust that you're not looking at any of the reports that are out there.
Not yet.
1 through 32, ESPN put out their list. I will have that. You will have your list. So we will get to that as we go. But right now we need to keep an eye on that top 100-player list. You've already finished your list.
Yes, I have.
And
It's all locked in.
And I've got the NFL's vote. This is the vote from players for players. So we'll see how close you are to what the players think of their colleagues. And we'll do that next. But first, we'll walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what's going on.
First on the fan, former Kentucky basketball player Kirk Kriisa has been arrested and indicted on a $2.2 million fraud scheme. The Department of Justice announced on Monday, Kriisa, according to the Department of Justice, allegedly ran a 4-year scheme that involved convincing one victim to send him money by saying his mother had cancer and needed treatment. He allegedly carried out a scheme to obtain nearly $2.2 million from multiple victims using false representations, fabricated identities, and deceptive communications, per the DOJ's news release on his arrest.
So you hear $2.2 million. I think the initial thought is that's a lot of money. With NIL, I don't know when this guy played, but you have all of the NIL money out there, and some of the dollar figures in these gambling scandals, this fraud scandal, seem a little low to you? I mean, at this point, there's just so much money in college sports that, I mean, $2.2 million is a lot.
I get where you're going from.
Yeah.
Do you want to know where Kriisa also played?
Sure, yeah. Give me more on this
played,
guy.
Again, he was a former Kentucky basketball player, but he also played for Cincinnati last season.
So he is a current player.
What happened to Brendan Sorsby and where did he play?
That's fair, but he did that at Indiana.
Also did it at apparently
Wow.
Cincinnati. Allegedly, Cincinnati might have known about it.
If we get into the story of every time a college program decides to take a chance on a player because he's got talent,
But two in the same calendar
oh
year?
no, I'm with you. Should we go back through the Urban Meyer rosters? Back-to-back national champions with the poster boy for faith, family, and football on every poster out there. Yet we kind of know who else was on that roster too.
Shout out the Pouncies. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of prime time.
I think you and I are in agreement. The best sport in the land, the NFL. It's the most fun to follow. It's the easiest. You know the names. You know the players. You know the teams. There's more parity than anybody else. One of my big things, love the way that they set up their scheduling. I won't be mad if they had 18 games to the season. I know that everybody worries about the player health and all of that. Give me more NFL. It's entertaining. It's drama. I know that my team won the Super Bowl last year. I was talking with somebody over the weekend, one of my brothers or my dad or somebody. Nobody saw that coming. In what other sport do you get midway through the season, you genuinely have no idea who's going to win the championship?
Very seldom.
That's what we had last year, all the way up until week 15, 16, when the Rams and the Seahawks met on a Thursday night game. I think you thought that either of those two teams could be in it, but there was not a great team last year. And I don't know what that says about the Seahawks. Obviously, you win a Super Bowl, you look back on it and go, well, they were obviously great. They had a quarterback that led the league in turnovers, and they righted the ship well enough and got into the postseason, and Sam Darnold didn't throw the ball as much and didn't turn over the ball at all. They switched to a running attack that was probably helped by their midseason acquisition of Rashid Shaheed, and you got a little more attention on different weapons around the field because JSN was having such a good year. You got to the Super Bowl and just handed it off to a guy you didn't even re-sign. Well, looking at this year, I don't know what we're going to get. And that's exciting.
A lot of question marks.
One or two key injuries can change the entire dynamic of the league.
We saw that with San Francisco.
You have somebody that goes out and underperforms. Things can go sideways really quick. The quarterback position, obviously the most valuable, so that's something we keep an eye on. So you and I are going to keep talking NFL throughout the summer. We're going to figure out different ways to do it. We're eventually going to get our Take Your Pick, so you can go and fill out the entire NFL season. We'll all play along and see how it looks as the season goes on. But one of the things you've challenged yourself to do is put together your own top 100 players. So we've had a few days off, so I'm just going to catch everybody up on where we're at with that top 100 list that the NFL is putting it out. The way they're doing this, 2 guys per day as they go on. I don't need you to comment on these. We'll just burn through them real quick. 100 is Cam Jordan. Quentin Nelson is 99. Bryce Young, 98. Ernest Jones is 97. Travis Achan, spelled ETN, is number 96. He's changed the pronunciation of his name because he never corrected anybody. He's too shy or whatever. Demario Davis is number 95. Creed Humphrey is 94. Carson Schlesinger is 93. Aziz Al-Shahir is 92. 91 is Montez Sweat. Number 90, Derek Brown. Kyron Williams, 89. Jack Campbell, 88. Tetaroa McMillan is 87. And we get to 86. I don't think you've commented on these. You're doing pretty well so far. You've been within 5 or 6 of all the guys.
I've had a pretty good start to the top list.
So we're doing pretty well. The thing that got this whole thing started was you were upset with where they put Ernest Jones.
Yeah, I thought he should have been a lot higher up on the list.
But then you recalibrated. You've kind of gone, well, there's some good linebackers out there. 86 is a linebacker as well. It is Tuli Tuipulotu. I'm probably butchering that. Close enough.
I think you nailed it.
All right. 16 games, 49 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. How accurate is that?
I like the pick. I thought he was going to be a lot lower or, again,
higher
off the list.
Oh, you thought he'd be off the list?
I thought he'd be off the list because I kind of saw him as pretty one-dimensional, and when you have a guy like Khalil Mack in front of you, it does make getting those TFLs a lot easier. But he had great numbers last year. He had a pretty solid performance during the season. So, I mean, I'm not pissed at that one.
First big surprise, though. This was one that was out of your top 100 linebackers.
That was my first surprise. I thought he was going to be just left off the list.
All right, second quarterback on the list. Quarterbacks are obviously fun because everybody knows who they are. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he a system quarterback? Is he somebody that's not going to be able to hold up over the thing?
Did he play enough games last year to be on the list?
It's, again, voted on by players. Number 85 is Brock Purdy. 9 games. 69% completion percentage, 2,100 yards. 7.6 yards per attempt, 20 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 147 on the ground with 3 rushing touchdowns. Off the list?
Played 9 games.
Yeah, well, it's not the best. It's not the best performances from last season. It is the where you think this guy ranks among the best players, right? If you're a player and you don't like playing Brock Purdy, I feel like that's a guy that you vote for. Or, man, I'd love to catch a ball from him. So you off your list?
Off the list. I had him at number 14 of all quarterbacks.
All right. We'll go over to the Rams. Another linebacker, Byron Young, 17 games, 82 tackles, 12 for loss, 12 sacks.
I had him a little bit higher up on the list. I had him where Bryce Young actually got picked, so I had him at 98.
98. That's lower on the list. We're putting one at the top. Look at it like we wrote it on a sheet of paper, my dude. I know. Listen, this is a common thing. High seed, low seed, no seed, whatever. I get that the high and low can be different. The number I get is higher. But on a list,
the list goes from 100 down to 1, so.
That's actually fair the way they put it in here. I'm still putting one. One is the top dog. He's the top of your list.
All right.
It's my show. That's what we're doing. Number 83, defensive tackle, new Tennessee Titan, a new contract for the Tennessee Titans. Jeffrey Simmons is getting paid a lot of money to be number 83 on this list. 15 games, 67 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 11 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and that is a pretty decent stat line from last year.
I think this might be the most egregious pick on this list. You're telling me the guy that led all defensive tackles in every position and every stat that matters is in the 90s?
83.
In the 80s?
Where do you have Jeffrey
This is
Simmons?
the best defensive tackle in football right now. I have him at number 7 because, again, he is the best defensive tackle in football.
7.
There's no question that Jeffrey Simmons is the best defensive tackle in football. I could give you a few that can compete with my boy Cam Hayward and newly Cincinnati Bengal Dexter Lawrence, but there's no one that's better than Big Jeff Simmons. Maybe Chris
led
Jones?
All defensive tackles last season, 60 pressures, 26 quick pressures. Pretty good.
For a defensive tackle?
That's what I'm saying.
Quick pressures?
Yes.
That means that I just grab centers and throw them out the way.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of disrespect towards Jeff Simmons on that one.
All right.
I don't like that.
Okay. Well, let's put a star next to that one, and we'll see how that pans out this season. Because I love your passion on it. Again, I don't sit there and rank them. You volunteered to do this. This was not a homework assignment for you. You're like, can I? Yes, of course you can. Just if you're listening. Casey is one of those people that plays in a fantasy league where you pick individual defensive players.
And we value them a lot higher than we value other positions.
Defense wins championships.
Amen to that.
All right. Pittsburgh Steeler, cornerback, number 82, Jalen Ramsey, 17 games, 88 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 8 pass defenses, and a pick last year. Jalen Ramsey, 82.
I had him at 90.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you'll take that.
A little bit lower on the list, but
yeah,
I liked it. I liked the year.
Nice. Okay. This is a guy that, is this just an honorary mention because of his body of work, or is he still the 81st best player, Washington Commanders middle linebacker? Is he even under contract?
I believe he might be a free agent.
I think he is, but it says Commanders here on the NFL website. Bobby Wagner, 17 games, 162 tackles, 8 for loss, 4.5 sacks, 2 picks, and 4 forced fumble. Bobby Wagner
He's on a 1-year extension with the Commanders.
Okay, so he did get the extension. Okay, no, there you go. So Bobby Wagner at 81. How do you feel about that?
I had him at 84.
Okay.
I love that. Again, Bobby Wagner, as long as he's still playing, he's going to break that list for me.
He might drop from his own standards, but still pretty damn good for the NFL.
As long as he's breathing, that's a top 100 NFL player.
All right. How do you feel about these next 2 guys? We will go into the next group of 10. These were released this morning. Number 80, new New England Patriot, wide receiver, 15 games, 78 receptions, 1,000 yards, 1,003 yards, 12 yards per reception, 7 receiving touchdowns, playing for an offense that was just dysfunctional. I had no idea how to actually throw the ball. Number 80 is A.J. Brown.
I had him at 87, 2 away from Ted McMillan, who was the first receiver off of the board that we saw. I just thought A.J. Brown was just a little bit better than Ted McMillan. That was, again, the matchups that you have to have when, again, Ted McMillan, he's the only receiver on that roster. If you're looking at Carolina, it was him and Xavier Legette. Legette didn't have great numbers.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, he has Devonta Smith. So if A.J. Brown was able to still have 1,000, I think that's a great year.
Where's Jalen Hurts going to be on this list?
Jalen Hurts, I believe, will be...
How much better is he than Bryce Young? Because Bryce Young's already on the list. Obviously, he'll be better than Brock Purdy if he's on this list.
I have him at 85.
Okay, we'll take a look. We haven't seen him yet.
Mm-hmm.
Number 79, the last one for the day. Just got married, Madison Square Garden. I mean, what a ceremony. Actually, I didn't see any of it. Do you have any updates?
No, not at all.
Travis Kelce, number 79, 17 games, 76 receptions, 851 yards, 11 yards per reception, 5 TDs. This is a guy that didn't play as well as he did the year before, but has he set as high a standard as Bobby Wagner that he can drop off and still stay on this list?
The issue is that tight ends in general didn't have a great
man.
year last year, and he still found a way to be top 5 at his position.
There are some stud tight ends out there. The problem is the reason they're having big years is everybody's using 3 tight ends.
Exactly, and I had Travis Kelce at 69. I just threw that out there and said, I'm going to put that staple there, and we'll come back to it later. I didn't move him off that spot.
Yeah.
I like him. I still like him a little bit lower on or higher up on the list. But 10 off, I'm not mad at that.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, kids. If you want to play along with this the whole time, send in your thoughts on how Casey's doing. If you just want him to shut up, well, tomorrow we'll only have 2 names, so deal with it. I love getting your perspective on it, my friend. It is great. We're going to switch things up. We were going to go more NFL here, but I'm going to give you till 2:30. Casey is working on his top 32 rosters in the NFL, and we have an ESPN list to compare the strength and weaknesses. We'll do that quickly at 2:30. But right now, let's see what's going on around the NBA. Jaylen Brown has a new home. Rui Hachimura has a new home. Blazers are not the new employers for either of those guys. Really anybody else since we talked last week. We'll see how you're feeling about that. NBA Hot Stove is next to wrap up the bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The Portland.
We got the World Cup game on here. One thing that I've decided right now, it's Spain versus Portugal, 87th minute, and you've got 0-0, 0-0, no score to no score. At least that's what I've gotten here. Has it changed on your screen? You looked
Nothing different here.
Okay. I like the guys with floppy hair. I'm going to get my soccer. There is a guy, number 24 for Spain, I believe. Big floppy haircut. Love that. Just got a header with his, floppy hair. That's the way it should be. Messi, when he used to have like the little headband and the long hair, way cooler than the nice high and tight cut. That's what I need.
Mark Cucurella is his name.
Yeah,
Plays
Cucurella.
for Real Madrid.
There you go. That's my favorite guy on the field right now. I don't know if he's any good. He plays for Real Madrid.
Probably pretty good.
Pretty okay.
Yeah.
He's playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Of course he's good, but is he one of their better players? I don't know.
Speaking as though I'm gonna just go out and say it. He plays for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Plays for Spain. He is their guy.
Well, I know that Spain loves their soccer. We were in Madrid a couple years ago, last year, 2 years ago. I don't know. We were there and just seeing like the big plazas that they have. Then Real Madrid won like the championship of the league that they're in. 4 people died, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And they're like, yeah, that's how we party. It's what we do. We just won the cup or whatever it was. So whoever wins. When's the last time Spain won a World Cup? Are they going to go nuts? We're going to have people just running through the cities, just demolishing ancient artifacts? Checking on that. Here's what I do know about the NBA is
2010.
Okay, so they've won one recently. That won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, they won in South Africa.
Okay. Well, I know Brazil's on their longest losing streak. Their longest streak without a cup in the modern era, whatever that means. So, NBA. Jaylen Brown was traded. Did you see the shift in odds for the 76ers to win the championship this
No,
year?
I did not.
I'm going to give you that before the trade, the 76ers were 60-1. That put them between the Rockets and the Hawks to win it. That is low. It's like middle of the pack. So you're right around there. So Lakers 35-1, Pacers 40-1, Rockets 50-1. The Sixers were 60-1, and the Hawks 70-1. Magic, Blazers both 80-1. So that's what they thought of the 76ers. How much do you think the addition of Jaylen Brown improved the 76ers roster?
I'm going to guess
Their
they're
odds.
25-1.
Very close. 20-1, which puts them right now 5th. Oklahoma City plus 270. Spurs same. Knicks plus 850. Celtics still 13-1. And the 76ers now 20-1 to win the whole thing. How do you feel about you guys probably talked about this. Was this last week before?
Yep.
Yeah. What is Boston doing? This was just a guy you had to get rid of? He's your finals MVP, somebody that had an all-NBA season last year without Jason Tatum for most of the year. I know that he wasn't happy, but he was so disgruntled that you had to get rid of him to a conference opponent?
Part of me wants to draw the comparison to the Kenneth Walker departure in Seattle.
But Kenneth Walker left as a free agent and signed in the other conference, which was obviously good for the Seahawks. It's not, they didn't trade him to the Rams. That's what this is.
That's what this is.
Yeah. There's
very confused.
There is a stipulation in Myles Garrett's contract that we have discussed.
Cannot be sent to Cincinnati.
He can be, but
Baltimore, or Pittsburgh unless
they'll give up the first round pick that they traded. If they end up going to a Browns division opponent, then the Rams will have to give up one of their first round picks. So if he has a bad year and they trade him back in the next 3 years, I'm guessing somebody scored. Spain scored. Ronaldo not happy about it.
Looks like we have a little bit of action in the 92nd minute.
We do? Well, yeah. Spain puts up a goal, and now you get a 1-0 lead, and Portugal is on death's door. Their World Cup might be over. Woo-hoo. Getting intense. Am I wrong, though? If you have the opportunity to trade somebody, you don't trade. And the Celtics hate the Sixers, and vice versa.
That's the really confusing
Just such
part.
a
Is that
bizarre move.
a non-rival didn't offer you what Philly was willing to bargain with?
Here's what Philly's offering. We'll take the exact same thing to trade him anywhere else. We'd love to see him in the Western Conference. Makes it easier for us. And you get Paul George back. I mean, maybe Paul George was the best player that was available, but dude, that guy.
Are you just trading the controversy for the controversy, going, this guy has a mic and likes to talk on his podcast, this guy has a mic and likes to talk on
Paul
his
George
podcast?
was suspended
Might as well trade
last
it.
year and has a reputation of being one of the worst playoff performers compared to his regular season averages in the NBA. Everywhere he leaves gets better. Pretty good track record of that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure the Pacers went to a championship after getting rid of him. Oklahoma City won a championship, and the Clippers didn't do a whole lot. And now here he goes to the 76ers, gets suspended, and then and now he's going to Boston. That's your running mate for Jason Tatum in the postseason? I'm surprised Boston's odds didn't drop more. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. It's not that I don't think that Jaylen Brown's not going to be successful in Philly. I just don't think it made sense for Boston.
Yeah. Explain this to me. What did the Blazers not like about Jaylen Brown? What was it the Blazers said? They gave him a negative rating as a trade?
I don't think he fits in the roster. The roster
So you're with it?
as of right now, unless Boston's asking price was a lot more than what the Blazers were willing to give up, and then you look at the fit of it all and go, it doesn't really work.
I feel like all NBA means that you can fit in where you can get in. You know what I mean?
I think NBA is very much we go where we're wanted.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll go with that. Rui Hachimura staying in Los Angeles to be a Clipper. I know some Blazers fans were talking that they were interested with that. I don't know what's still out there. Your roster kind of looks like this might be what we roll out with, a bunch of undersized guards and a bunch of centers, and that might be all we have. But who knows? But the Jaylen Brown thing confused me. I wanted to get your perspective on that. So thank you, Casey. And we will move into the regular shenanigans of Happy Hour. We will do it next as Spain takes lead into the 94th minute. We'll catch up on the other side with what's going on there. You're listening to the last of Bonus Hour on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan.
the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, your U.S. men's national team is back in action tonight as they will take on Belgium in the round of 16. The winners of tonight's match will take on the winner of Portugal versus Spain, which is in the 98th minute as Spain currently leads 1-0. U.S. men's striker Flo Balogun will play in tonight's contest despite the controversial decision over his red card as we get set for a 5 p.m. kickoff at Lumen Field in Seattle. Some NBA news for you. According to Chris Haynes, as longtime NBA offensive guru Jay Triano has agreed to join the coaching staff of the Portland Trail Blazers, reuniting him with franchise star Damian Lillard. Rui Hachimura has agreed to a 2-year, $28 million deal to sign with the LA Clippers. And finally, some NFL news for you as free agent cornerback Rasul Douglas is signing a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders. Douglas played 15 games last season with Miami as he will sign with Washington on a $3.8 million deal. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
This is the Fan Sports.
Hey, happy Fried Chicken Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. Hope you enjoyed the bonus hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you just ask your smart speaker to be more awesome. And this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2-GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use it to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. How are you watching the U.S. World Cup game tonight? Lowercase, you staying in, going out? Is this an event that deserves a party, a chance to win in the round of 16 for the first time since 2002?
I'm staying in, but I'm making the most of it. I think I got a few buddies that are going to come over and watch the game.
Yeah.
Enjoy it a little bit.
All right. The World Cup fever, has it extended into all of the relationships in your life? Do your parents into it? Your girlfriend? Anybody? Just buddies?
I think it's just the fellas.
All right. That works. I think they win this one. Just it's going to amp up that much more. It's in Seattle. Should be a raucous crowd. Belgium.
Crowds have been great in Seattle
Belgium
so far.
Apparently is an aging team. We should mention we were keeping an eye on Portugal and Spain. The winner of this will be the opponent in the next round if the U.S. were to advance. They'll still be the opponent just against Belgium if the U.S. fails to win the game. But Spain just won. Just went final. Right as soon as you finish your update.
Yep, with a goal from Mikel Merino in the 91st minute.
When we first started talking World Cup, you told me that you were all in on it. And you were going to be my guy, somebody I can lean on for World Cup. Explain to me how extra time works.
Extra time is 15 minutes of 2 separate periods. There's a break in between, but it's...
But that's only if it's tied. When's a game over? I never know when. Like now, it's final. But don't they play 90 minutes?
They played 90 minutes and then extra penalty stoppages.
Yeah. So explain to me how I'm supposed to know when that works.
They tell you.
I'm watching it on the screen. That plus 6 minutes can end then, but it can't end when somebody's on attack. I just don't understand it.
I felt like that's a bad question.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's a bad explanation too. You can be mad at my questions. I never know when the game's going to end. There's no countdown going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's a loose clock, but for the most part, it's about the possession and where the ball is when.
Okay, so where does it have to be?
That's a great question. So probably not in an attacking position.
I asked a better question.
Guess.
I asked a better question. So, like, if it's on the foot of the team that is down, is that an attacking position, or do you have to be in the front field, or what? You see what I'm saying?
Again, I assume it's probably in the front field.
Okay. You're making assumptions. That's cool. I asked somebody the other day, and it was a very, very disappointing answer. I'm like, I still don't get it. And this is me being a dumb guy. So dumb guys ask dumb questions. So I apologize for putting through the rigmarole.
I also just think that time is very speculative because it's 6 minutes of extra stoppage time based off of penalties or conduct of play. But then that stoppage time still can have conduct play stuff that gets played on and added on.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, as American sports fans, baseball, you get 3 outs every inning. Like that's the game is over when the home team gets their 3rd out and in defeat, or they get the other team with their 3 outs. You don't even need to play the bottom of the ninth. It's very obviously very simple. You don't even need a clock. You got the pitch clock now, whatever. Our other sports, you get the countdown clock. You're just watching it. It's something that we've been accustomed to. So it makes it that much easier for it. That's one thing that drives me crazy watching the Norway-Brazil game. You have Brazil score on the late penalty kick where Neymar just made the goalie fall into a pile of dust just by tricking him somehow. I couldn't figure out what was going on there. But he's like, where do you want it? Where do you want it? And then now it's 2-1. And I'm like, when is this thing going to be? Oh, when are we going to get to see the row? Are we? Does Brazil have enough time to actually do something here? Drives me crazy. But, again, this is just dumb American guy over here. Don't get me started on cricket. You ever try to understand cricket?
Oh, don't get me started. That is a very tough one where I'm like,
so
something about a wicket.
It's probably a me problem. I'm saying it's not like these sports have endured. It's the most popular sport in the world. It is certainly not their problem that I don't understand. It is definitely a me problem, but it still confuses me. So I just have to admit that I'm dumb, and I apologize for it.
That can be confusing. The clocking of it all.
Yeah. Well, and again, we're conditioned to watch it count down. Hockey and basketball and football, you get that countdown clock. Other games, you get so many tries, and you get one more chance here. You're playing to a score in sports like volleyball or ping pong or whatever it is you're out there playing.
Soccer is like that teacher that some days you like, but some days you don't. She's the one that decides that, oh, the bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst type of people.
Well, Ronaldo's been dismissed. I'm sorry. I know that you love Ronaldo, but this is his final World Cup, I assume. His age was an issue with the whole thing. I should tell you that Bet365 presents Odyssey Sports Midsummer Baseball Showcase Special from Philadelphia on Monday, July 13th at 7 p.m. following prime time. That is a week from today. Need to let everybody know that. Should we do some in case you missed it?
Let's do it.
All right. In case you missed it, Joey Chestnut took home his 18th mustard belt on the 4th of July by putting down 66 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Afterwards, Chestnut complained that the 90-degree heat and high humidity made the buns, quote, tougher to swallow, which is fascinating. I didn't realize that you had to factor in the dew point and the for the aerodynamic efficiency of a glizzy. I had no idea. I mean, personally, I don't consider how much the local meteorological affects a grown man's ability to slide wet meat tubes down his esophagus for a $10,000 check. But it's again, probably a me problem. I treat it more like the post office. Neither rain nor sleet nor triple-digit heat index will ever stop me from wanting to vomit anytime I watch a hot dog eating contest. I show up regardless of the weather, with no interest in that event.
The hot dog eating contest is one of those things where you have to take breaks from watching it.
I just can't, dude. I might.
All 66 is tough to watch.
The only food eating contest that I want anything to do with now is seeing if I could trick my kids into eating something besides chicken nuggets. Like I am completely out. Like, try this. It's the hottest thing you'll ever eat. No. Try this. You ever have the Blue Diamond wasabi almonds?
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Yeah. Dad's a big fan. I'm a big fan. We had a can of those at camp. Gave one to my 12-year-old nephew. I thought he was going to die. I just wanted him to try something. If you tell me something's going to kill me, I'm 45 years old and I have lived a life and I've tried things that are way too hot and too sour. No, just I'm not going to see how many things I can get inside me.
Not a Badlands Booker fan?
Don't need any part of it. In case you missed it, top rookies, Darren Peterson and Cameron Boozer, dominated their opening weekend of NBA Summer League. Personally, I would like to thank the FIFA World Cup for ensuring that I didn't watch a single second of it. Thank you for Happy to not know that event was going on. In case you missed it, Kawhi Leonard has hired a new agent, Harrison Gaines, as he prepares to negotiate a massive extension following his trade to the Toronto Raptors. Could you imagine having to fire your agent because he can't figure out how to exchange Canadian and U.S. dollars? Like, that is... Uncle Dennis missed out on 4% of a $100 million contract extension because he had absolutely no idea what a loonie was. Like, that's tough. Is that no? Is that... But don't worry, Uncle D's going to be just fine. He's keeping his day job, laundering Kawhi's shoe money through fake environmental banks. So he's going to be... No? In case you missed it, ticket prices for the historic U.S. men's national team World Cup round of 16 match against Belgium in Seattle have settled at a whopping $1,715 minimum. Local fans are understandably upset about being priced out of the once-in-a-lifetime chance to see the U.S. lose to an inferior opponent despite cheating. And it's going to be... going to be a tough one. Trump intervening to get the suspension reversed just reeks of a Little League dad who never got his shot. And you know that our president would have led the U.S. to a World Cup if it hadn't been for those damn bone spurs. I mean, that was... No? It was a dream he never got to realize. So he's helping his kids. It's great. Yeah, the get-in price peaked at $3,925 in June for this game before dropping to $1,715. So this is actually a discount. Can you imagine sitting in the back of Seattle Stadium, sitting in the very back row and feeling you got a steal because you only paid $1,700 on your parents' credit card without them knowing? Can you imagine how... Oh, that one we like. And finally, in case you missed it, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams officially gifted an autographed jersey to Pope Leo the 14th over the weekend. In return, the pontiff reportedly assigned Caleb 2 Our Fathers for every interception he threw last season, a Hail Mary for every fumble, and then condemned him to the eternal fires of damnation for painting his fingernails. So it was a fair trade-off. Fair Catholic jokes. That worked. All right, we are going to we're going to skip Tape Don't Lie. We have the challenge. How close can Casey get to all 32 teams' rankings of rosters for this upcoming NFL season? He has taken on the challenge. Worked on it during the show, just during the breaks. He skipped watching more World Cup than he could have to do this for you, but right now we need to get to the normal shenanigans of the Daily Buzz. Not a bad weekend for the Seattle Mariners. The prospect list is out, more Mariners in the top 75 than any other team. And would you pull a pitcher in the middle of a perfect game? All of that in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Prime time.
Well, your Vetter Cup runner-ups for 2026 have had quite the week from their six-man rotation. So after abandoning what they called a modified piggyback and just giving each of their guys an actual start in the last week, your Seattle Mariners became the first team since the 2023 Astros to have quality starts from 6 different pitchers in consecutive starts. Emerson Hancock, the latest to do it, at one point retiring 11 batters in the 4-0 shutout, the second of 2 shutouts against the Blue Jays this weekend. The Seattle Mariners pitching staff now has a 24 consecutive scoreless innings streak going right now. So it's something to keep an eye on. Just keep it simple, stupid. If you got 6 starters, rotate 6 starters. It makes a lot of sense. There it is. You missed for a couple days. You forget where all your buttons are. A couple promotions for the Seattle Mariners if you're keeping an eye on it. Michael Arroyo, Las Montes, both moving up to Triple-A. So something to keep an eye on. Arroyo is one of the younger players. At 20 years old, I think he's the youngest guy in the organization to be up there. Las Montes only 21. So if this Mariners team can't get it figured out this year and correct the ship, just know that the Mariners now have 6 of the top 75 prospects in Major League Baseball, according to MLB Pipeline, and they've got guys that are moving up. You still have Ryan Sloan and Cade Anderson available. So figuring something out at the trade deadline might be more about selling-ish to make room for some of these young guys and buying at the same time. So we'll see what ends up happening if it's just a matter of shifting pieces around it. You do have one All-Star. Right now, Randy Arozarena is going to be an All-Star for the second time, so congratulations to the Mariners left fielder who's having a phenomenal year so
Is he going to be the reserve left fielder?
Let's see. I didn't really. No, it's just all I have is that he's on the team. It's his second consecutive All-Star game is what I should have said as well. So let's go to Miami, who's going to be an opponent of the Mariners here coming up very quickly. How about this? Yuri Perez pulled after 7 perfect innings against the A's yesterday. The Marlins still able to hold on after pulling their starting pitcher, beating the A's 9-8. Not only did they pull a guy throwing a perfect game, the bullpen gave up 5 in the 8th and 3 in the bottom of the 9th and almost blew
Disgusting.
a 9-run lead.
Oh, that's an atrocious move.
He is on a 90-pitch limit to preserve him for the postseason. Clayton McCullough is the name that you need to know. That is the manager for Miami. Pulled him after 7 innings. He threw 92 pitches. Perfect game. Could have gone into the 8th. Did not. Your bullpen gives up 5, followed by 3, and almost blew a 9-run lead with a guy going for a perfect game.
That has to be a conversation that that pitcher and that manager need to have over and over and over again. Wow.
The Buzz.
Speaking of great pitching efforts, Mason Miller has pulled off a historically absurd accomplishment. The Padres closer has become the first pitcher since 1913 to post a sub-1 ERA with 16-plus strikeouts per 9 innings through 35 appearances. He has had He had his 22nd save with a scoreless 9th inning against the Dodgers. He currently sits at a .98 ERA with 16.4 strikeouts per 9 and hasn't allowed a single home run across 36.2 innings. Mason Miller, pretty good at throwing a baseball.
Pretty good at
throwing a baseball.
The Buzz.
You've got your big brain on for NFL already today. We've practiced a little bit. Cornerback Rasul Douglas has agreed to a 1-year, $38.8 million deal to join the Washington Commanders. How do we feel about that, bolstering a defense that 2 years ago was in the NFC Championship game?
I like the move. I think they needed depth in the secondary, I'm not sure. Let me double check this. Yeah, again, they still have Marshawn Lattimore. They still have Mike Sainer still. So just adding more depth, that's a good pickup for them.
Douglas has 93 games that he's played in and 21 career interceptions. So he brings a pretty good resume to Washington.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk.
There you go. If you can get turnovers, does that help you in the NFL? Remind me?
Very
it
much
does.
so.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Buzz.
Well, England-Mexico went down as a classic last night. The England team finished the game with just 10 men on the field, but held on to beat Mexico in Mexico. They were at the Azteca Stadium, which made things a little bit more sweet for them because that is where England lost to Maradona and the Hand of God all those years ago. So rooting for England, I'm sure everybody was very excited, but celebrating for England did not go nearly as well as it did for the fans. Jordan Henderson suffered a serious wrist injury by tripping over an advertising board while celebrating the win in Mexico. He actually stayed back in the city to get to stay in the hospital and did not travel with the team who went up to Missouri. So it's a wrist injury. I don't know how much that affects things. Running into people, running up and down the field with a wrist injury. Obviously, it's not the most dramatic injury that you can have as a soccer player, but that's something England and England fans will be watching very seriously.
The Buzz.
Well, Novak Djokovic just secured his 106th career match victory at Wimbledon, breaking a tie with Roger Federer for the most all-time among men. Do you pay much attention to tennis, Casey?
Not too much. Keep my eyes on it.
Novak Djokovic is one of those guys that's intriguing to me as an athlete, not necessarily a tennis player. I don't pay that much attention to it, but this guy is greatness. And I don't think gets any of the flowers.
I will very much agree with you on that one. He
Yeah.
does not get the amount of love that Federer, Nadal, and all of them used to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, go back through the eras
And
of all the
he's
guys.
probably more dominant.
Well, yeah, he's certainly adding up the totals. He's 39 years old. He is undefeated in Grand Slams against players ranked as low. What does it say? Undefeated in Grand Slams against players ranked as low as his opponent. So this guy, he just doesn't lose to bad players. So going out and getting this win was kind of a foregone conclusion. He just goes out and does what he needs to. He's appeared in finals against Nadal, against Federer, and won head-to-head. He's besting everybody at Grand Slam titles and all of this, but man, is he unlikable. Just something about the dude that people do not find appealing. Again, I'm on the perimeter of tennis fandom. Every once in a while I'll watch. If you sit me down to watch a tennis match, I think that'd be a really fun sport to go and watch live, especially if you got to see like a Grand Slam final or one of these great players go out and play. I think you'd end up leaving very, very impressed with what you see.
I remember last week it was the Serena Williams. She was going head to head with Maya Joint, and we were watching again the entire exchange during the show. So
yep.
When tennis is intense and has a little bit of juice behind it, I think it's really fun to watch.
It was one of those sports where I will not watch it by appointment, but if I watch it by accident, I can get completely wrapped up into it, and
agree.
it's totally fun. But having your best player be a guy that's entirely unlikable cannot be good for tennis. The other thing that probably affects my fandom is, when was the last time we had a great American player? Sampras Agassi was really fun. I remember when I was a kid, but there has been a long time since we've had that. But with that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
And real quick, we got a lot of American tennis stars. They are just in the women's category. Coco Gauff.
You are 100%
deserves
correct.
some
Men's tennis suffers from not having an American star for a very long time. And the one thing that I will say about Serena, she was so dominant that it would have been nice for her to have an equal. The Nadal Federer back and forth, and then throw Djokovic in there. If you had an American star thrown into that,
Serena was playing against
yes.
Sabalenka now.
Well, or yes, if Serena had an equivalent on the men's side that could go in and play against that trio of guys, would have been great for my fandom.
Well, first on the fan, baseball fans will only have 3 or 4 more months to complain about this certain guy because, well, CB Buckner is retiring. Buckner at age 63 has accepted the MLB's buyout offer, and he will retire after the season. Well, Buckner has not been the greatest. He rung up Eugenio Suarez twice earlier this year. That pretty much put him back on the map. And the next day,
So he rung him up, and then the call got overturned twice in the same at bat.
call got overturned. And then a few days later, well, he left the game with a concussion after taking a foul tip off of the face mask, and he has not worked a game since that incident. That happened on April 1st.
What was the game? I think I might have been watching that.
It was Tampa Bay versus Milwaukee.
I think I might have been watching that game, but I
so
do remember that. Yeah.
During the second inning of the game, Rays catcher Nick Fortes fouled off a 100-mile-an-hour fastball off of Mizorowski.
Yeah, that's why I would have been watching.
Went directly into Buckner's mask. Well, Buckner is set to retire at the end of the year alongside 6 other umpires who are taking the MLB's buyouts.
I think it's pretty easy to trash umpires, but I think it's very hard to put yourself in their shoes and how difficult that job is. It's a thankless job that is on a very big stage. The MLB's been doing the right thing and trying to get these buyout offers into everybody and switch over to kind of a younger, newer set of officials. But to make a name for yourself, there's not very many ways to do it. There's one, being awful, and the other, you can have guns like Ed Hockley. Those are the only real 2 ways that I know how to do it. You can have a distinct look out there, and there's not a lot of guys that leave beloved from this profession.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe.
All right, kids, we are not doing Tape Don't Lie. I wasn't here. I wasn't barely here. We want to get into the NFL. What we're going to do is Casey took on the challenge. Actually, you kind of challenged yourself. I told you I had the list of the rosters for the NFL. The ESPN put this out this morning. They ranked the roster strength, not where they think everybody's going to finish, but the roster strength of all 32 NFL teams. And you said that before the show was over, you would put together your own list, and you wanted to go head-to-head against ESPN's team of writers. So this was put together by their entire team, and you said that you could do this better than they could, or you could get close to what their expectations were. So with that,
I could get there.
With that in mind, how do you want to start this thing? I don't know if I want to go through every single team, but we can. We can start. We'll certainly start at the bottom of the list. But I want to know who you think the worst team. And I will tell you that it appears that they have a tie at number 29. So I will give you credit either direction you go. But the 32nd worst team in the NFL. Who do you have?
That would be the team that did not that set an NFL record last year by not having a single interception. That would be the New York Jets and head coach Aaron Glenn.
Ooh, I've got the Jets at 25 on this list.
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty terrible. And of course, I also have a coach that takes naps, who's supposed to be a defensive guy during the combine. So that is
during the talent showcase.
Yeah, well, so again, might not be the roster's problem. You might not have the right guy at head coach. So, 0 for 1, would you like to take a second stab at number 32?
I got Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, number 32. Look at
Yep.
you. All right, just 2 guesses for that. Give me your bottom 5 teams. We know that the Jets are going to be out of that, so give me who you have, and we'll see how accurate we can get with that.
Besides the Jets, I've got the Dolphins, the Cardinals, the Falcons.
Cardinals and Falcons both tied at 29, so accurate there.
And then I have the Panthers and the Browns.
Okay, Browns there for sure. Panthers all the way up at 24, the team that you don't have in there that they have. Number 26 is the Saints. Number 27, Raiders. Number 28 is the Tennessee Titans.
They think that the Saints are less talented than the New York Jets?
They do, and the Carolina Panthers.
That's where I will wholeheartedly go position by position from the running back room to the fact that the head coaching staff, again, you have Tyler Shuff versus who? Oh, Geno Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll take that one. You have Alvin Kamara, Travis Etienne versus Brees Hall. Yeah, I think I'll take the Saints. You want to go through the receiving core too, or should I keep going?
No, I think. Hey, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. This is a list. This is a
me
list that
just saying ESPN's wrong.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. So the bottom half of if we'll break this into thirds. So we go into the bottom third. Commanders, Vikings, Giants are 21, 22, and 23.
The Giants being that low surprises me.
Well, yeah, I mean you have you lost Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence. Are those the 2 guys that are missing, or is Thibodeau still there?
Thibodeau's still there.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why they've got it this way, but I could go through all of their analysis and compare them and go through it. But here's my question: Commanders, Vikings, Giants, Panthers, Jets, Saints, Raiders, Titans, Cardinals, Falcons, Browns, Dolphins. Any of those teams winning this year?
Nope.
Which one would be the most surprising? The Dolphins, the Jets. These are teams that you could probably
maybe
mark
the
up your
Saints
list.
probably be the most surprising, but
that's maybe a team that you think has a chance.
I think that is a team that
They
might
were
have a
hot.
chance.
They were hot at the end of last year, so it'd be
Finally
interesting.
figured out that quarterback
All right,
situation.
well, let's look at 10 through 20, shall we? So we'll break it down into 11 teams. Give me really quickly your 10 through 20, and we'll see how accurate you are with these teams, because these are teams that I think have an outside chance of being good, right? They've got the roster for it. You need a couple things to click, and you go with that. So I kind of look at this as a different group. Give me your list.
I've got Buccaneers, Bengals, Chargers, Packers.
Well, Buccaneers I have at 18.
Okay, so Bengals, Chargers, Packers, Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots, Broncos, Jaguars.
Okay. Well, you'll have to look at your list and go. So at number 20, Colts, 19 is the Steelers. Buccaneers at 18, Bears at 17, Jacksonville 16, Bengals at 15, Cowboys at 14, Chargers at 13, Kansas City Chiefs at 12, Niners and Packers at 11 and 10.
I really don't like this list.
You are
the Bengals are a top 20 team when?
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow's healthy, and they did add something to their defense, right?
they also lost from their defense.
They did. They lost Trey Hendrickson, but you go out and you add Dexter Lawrence. So some of this, some of that.
It's a 1-for-1.
Where do you put Joe Burrow on your list of quarterbacks?
Joe Burrow, I think he's within the top. He would be
Is he a top 10 player in the NFL?
Ninth on the list.
Yeah, so that's going to help your
Ninth of
roster. You're going
quarterbacks.
to help your roster a lot. Jamar Chase is probably one of your top 2 or 3 wide receivers. There's weapons on that team, so that one doesn't bother me so much.
It does when they're ranked higher than the Steelers because
they're your Steelers.
Let's be realistic. The Bengals are the Bengals.
They definitely are. Your quarterback is
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
More Super Bowls than Joe Burrow.
that's fair. That's
More
fair.
appearances as well.
I'll give you that, but I think he might be past his prime.
I think I'd agree with that.
Okay. All right. Give me 9 through 1. We'll do these one by one, and you give me who you got.
I got Eagles, Ravens.
Eagles, I've got on here. Where are the Philadelphia Eagles? Did I already list those off? Yeah, I do not have. Maybe I'm just blind, but I am not seeing the Eagles at number 10. No, I don't see them in the top 10. Oh, number 2. I have them number 2. So you have them at 10 or 9?
I have them at 9, yeah.
9, yeah.
Especially
I've got them way
after
up
losing A.J. Brown, I think, again, we don't know what that receiving core is going to look like with Mekhi Lemon, so.
Yeah, well,
a lot of question
that
marks
defense is still gnarly. Okay, they've got them at number 2. All right, who's your number 8 team?
That'd be the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Where are the Baltimore? If I could read and find things quicker, it probably would be helpful. Baltimore Ravens not in number 5, so a little higher on the list than where you had them as well.
The Chiefs.
Chiefs are way out of it. They have them way down at number 12.
Yeah, I mean,
You get Patrick Mahomes back.
they have
I think that's gonna
3
help.
players in the top 3 of their positions, so that confuses me.
All
Chris
right.
Jones, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. Are
Depth.
they all top 5 at their positions?
Depth matters on this. You got to go and figure out where your depth lies,
I'll
because
give you that.
you can't win with 3 guys. And if one guy goes down, we saw what happened to the Chiefs last year. So and they weren't playing great before Mahomes went down. So they've got, not only do they have great players, but they have aging great players. Chris Jones is how old? Not a young guy. Patrick Mahomes' injuries are starting to catch up. Travis Kelce obviously getting old and getting married, which is lovely to see. So I'm going to give you our top 10, and you tell me how insane this sounds.
Chris Jones
to
is
you.
32.
32, which for
For a defensive
end?
tackle, that's pretty on point.
All right, so number 9, they have the Houston Texans,
Okay, I see that.
Denver Broncos at 8, New England Patriots at 7, Detroit Lions at 6. Who's your guess for the number 1 team?
I think it's the team that just acquired Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Rams, that's a pretty easy one. We already know number 2 is the Eagles. Who's at number 3?
I would guess the 49ers.
The 49ers are way down that list.
Really?
Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers are at 11. Number 3, Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Number 4, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills.
I had to go in Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Bills, Texans. That was my top 5.
3 in the same division. It was pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
The way that things panned out last year. I mean, you have 2 teams facing each other in the postseason.
Only reason why
Yep.
I picked 49ers over is because they get back Fred Warner.
Ooh, that's a pretty good player.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good as a little player. So do you go off of talent, or how much does coaching factor into this? So if you just look at it and just go, all right, just these roster constructions, do you feel like your list represents the top 5 teams in the NFL, or is this something where you give a big advantage? Because you had Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and who was your other coach in there? Mike McDonald. Thank you. So coaching feels like kind of went into this a little bit.
A little bit. I think mainly for my 10 through 20, that's
Yeah.
where I decided the coaching differences, especially for the reason why Zach Taylor and the Bengals would not be a top 20 team in the NFL because they
Yeah.
haven't been.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've certainly, when healthy, if they can get into the postseason, I think Joe Burrow is as dangerous as anybody. I mean,
I
he's
think
he's
they have
kind
to
of
find a way to get out of their division first.
Well, they certainly. Well, again, health I think plays a big part of that. A couple years ago, he was mostly healthy, playing chipped up with one
But
of
I
the
think
worst
that's-
defenses in football. I mean,
That's
it's
the AFC North. We
Yeah.
beat you up, and either you're going to make it out and have 10 wins, or you're first round and gone.
who's the last AFC North team to win a Super Bowl? Was it still the Steelers?
I believe it was the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, it was one of them because the Roethlisberger over the Cardinals.
2014,
Yeah, that was
Baltimore
before that.
over San Francisco.
Yep. All right, so yeah, it's a good division, but it's also one that beats each other up a lot. And then you get into the postseason, we've not seen a ton of success from them. But the Chiefs have been awesome in the AFC. Bengals have one Super Bowl appearance in there, and then before that, it was a guy named Tom Brady and the Patriots. Got a lot of those, so it kind of sways some of those arguments, but it's fun. It's July. I think it's time to start talking NFL. You're going to get more training camps, stories coming out, and we'll see where things are starting. So as we move forward, you okay talking a little more NFL?
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, man, I am excited about it. We'll send you on your way with one more for the road. We will do it next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The Fan.
Binary Brewing and The Fan have teamed up for the Only Fan IPA, available for a limited time. Taste The Fan with Binary Brewing's signature West Coast IPA. Go to Binary Brewing's Beaverton location and ask them about their Only Fan. So good, Only The Fan. And Binary Brewing can pull it off. If you missed anything from the show, this show, past shows, future shows, use the Fan Podcast. It's at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. We are currently at 64 days, 14 hours, 29 minutes, and 5 seconds until the NFL season kicks off on September 9th at 5:20 p.m. when you have a rematch of the Super Bowl, the Seahawks hosting the New England Patriots. Very exciting. Casey, anything from the text line, YouTube chats that we need to address?
Not that I'm seeing.
All right. Well, that makes things a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and do... What do you think is going to be more obnoxious? The lead up to the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift wedding, where there were all these guesses and ideas of what was going to happen, or all of the information slowly getting leaked from the actual wedding?
Oh, that's a really good one.
I have tried very hard.
I'm kind of split.
Same. It keeps showing up, and we haven't talked about it much because who cares? It's a wedding. They end up getting married at Madison Square Garden. I'm sure there was a whole list of things, but I was like, oh, good, it's over. Maybe now I can avoid it. Now the big thing is anybody that was there had to post that they were there so that you knew it. Apparently, Dean Blandino was there. I heard Patrick Harris going on about or maybe it was Brandon Sprague. One of them, Dean Blandino, made it there in case there was any controversy. You could help decide which camera angle was the best, and they could figure out what happened at the wedding. But the list of people, I'm glad it's happening now. It's a lull in the sports calendar. It will not affect the actual football season, and I get all that, and he can go to training camp and do the whole thing. But I feel like this is going to last weeks and months of everything that happened with the wedding.
I just love all the speculation about what this wedding means to Swift fans, Kelce fans.
Chiefs.
I saw a post the other day that said, circle back here next year when she drops an album called Independence Day as Travis retires from the NFL.
Oh, exhausting. I don't get caught up in like all the celebrity gossip and stuff. That has never been my jam anyways. But this thing is not going to go away anytime soon. Now what happens if we get into the season? We're going to get obviously more of her, and people will be talking about it during the broadcast, which...
The spectacle is only going to increase.
I mean, is this going to last? I mean, if they have a public breakup, I mean, how? I've kind of made a big deal about this. Little bit of a deal about this. I don't know, man. I don't know if you want or need that pressure on either of them. This celebrity wedding, and then he retires from football, and then they actually have to spend time with each other. How wild does it make
See how that worked out for Brady?
Well, he wouldn't retire, I think is how it worked out for him. Yeah, do we know if Taylor Swift is taking any jiu-jitsu classes? Do we have any information on that?
That I do not know.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that.
Well, as a big part of the 250th anniversary of America, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce take over headlines, and they are officially wed. They got married at Madison Square Garden. That's about all that I know. How were the shows while I was out? You got to hang out with Stevie. What are we calling him? Stevie Freedom? Stevie Fire?
Freedom. Okay. Over the weekend.
Yeah.
He'll probably get back to Stevie Fire soon, but he was Stevie Freedom this weekend.
Okay. Well, as he should be. Was there anything that you guys predicted that came true over the weekend? How anything that we missed that we didn't talk about as carryover while I was out?
Ooh, I'm trying to think, but there wasn't a lot that I could say that we made boastful predictions about.
Right.
I think it was.
Well, I'm going to force you into one. I'm going to force you into one right now.
More of
okay. You ready?
Getting on this U.S. men's
Perfect.
national
That's
team.
exactly where I was going to go.
That's where we're starting to lean.
You ready then?
Hit me with it.
What's the score of the game tonight?
I'm going 3-1. A late goal, 93rd minute from the U.S. to
get the one and lose 3-1. You're picking against America,
No.
lowercase.
I'm saying it's going to be a back and forth. A lot of this second half.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in the 93rd minute,
yeah.
Belgium makes the mistake, the U.S. offense gets on the horse and we get one in to.
Well, I said it earlier.
Rattle it off.
If you're going to use political strategery to overturn a red card, the game's not close. The only way that the U.S. looks good in any of all this, if it ends up being a close game and our guy who got the red card ends up being a deciding factor in any way, it's going to mar this game and it's going to be looking really bad for the host country, for FIFA, and I hope that doesn't happen. That means you need the U.S. to absolutely dominate, or if they lose, it will restore the integrity for soccer and everything else, but will not be good for the U.S. So I think the only result that is going to be good for the U.S. team moving forward is they have to dominate. Just go out and just win 5-0, or just go out and crush them, which I don't think will happen.
I don't think it'll happen, but I think it's going to be a very physical game.
Okay.
Part of me thinks that Balogun is going to get baited into being as physical as he has been throughout this entire
All right.
tournament.
Well, big thanks to Joe Fish, who filled in last Wednesday. Dusty Hara, I believe, joined you. Stevie Fire for jumping in on Thursday. Big thank you to everybody that listened. Thank you, lowercase. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.